এই সেশনে যিনি চেয়ার করছেন প্রফেসর ডক্টর মোজাম্মেল হক মহোদয়, আমি বিনীতভাবে তাকে মাইক্রোফোন হস্তান্তর করছি। আপাতত এই অংশটি প্রিজাইড করছেন প্রফেসর ডক্টর মোজাম্মেল হক, প্রতিষ্ঠাতা উত্তর বাংলা কলেজ। ধন্যবাদ।
ধন্যবাদ ডক্টর আবু শাহাদাত। ওই পরের দিকে সাদেকের কথা বলা হলো। সাদেকের মতো ছাত্রছাত্রীদেরকে আমরা সব সময় সাহায্য করব। You must deserve it. If you deserve it, you will get it. It's very important. Please. জাতি চায় চায় চায়।
As I say in my poetry, while the real parameter of honor are only money and power, every student wants to be a police officer instead of being a teacher. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
ধন্যবাদ Sadik Ahsan for his very smart presentation. Really, time management, personal involvement, and ornament of deliberation, these are the art of a very good speech. And we find that Mr. Sadik Hasan follows all those three things.
একজন শিল্পপতি আছেন যাকে নিয়ে আমার গর্বিত। ওনার কাছ থেকে দু একটা কথা আমরা শুনতে চাই। জনাব ইয়ার, থ্যাংকস এ লট।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম রহমতুল্লাহ। একজন ছাত্র সম্ভবত নাম মিস্টার সাদিক একটা পেপারস তুলে ধরেছে। আমার কাছে যতটুকু পেপারগুলো এর আগে পরে যা দেখছি, এটা আমার কাছে খুবই ভালো লাগছে। এই ছেলেটা যদি সত্যি সত্যি নিজে লেখে থাকে তাহলে এটা সে ভালো জিনিস আবিষ্কার হয় না। এখন একজাক্ট সমস্যাগুলো তুলে ধরেছে, সমস্যাগুলো সে ইলাবোরেট করার চেষ্টা করেছে। আমি আমার পক্ষ থেকে ছেলেটাকে এই লেখার জন্য 5,000 টাকা পুরস্কার দিলাম। দয়া করে এইটা আমার কাছে নেবেন। আর ভবিষ্যতে যদি ভালো লেখা আপনাদের ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে আসে, এটা যদি প্রকাশ করতে হয়, এই প্রকাশনার খরচ আমি দেব।
Enough. আমি তো নিচে তাকাবো, ওদিকে তাকাবো। হ্যাঁ, ইটস ওকে। এখানে ঠিক মতোই আছে। Thank you. First of all, I would like to address our most honorable chairperson, honorable dignitaries, honorable panelists, honorable paper presenters, our honorable teachers, honorable participants, and everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say something before you. Thank you. As we are here today, somewhere in this country tonight at 11 p.m., a student of primary school level would be reading, environment pollution is the greatest problem nowadays. We should avoid throwing plastic everywhere. All the holes in ozone sphere should be sealed right away. And that student is trying to commit the whole essay into his or her memory and terrified about the exam in his or her school next day. Though nobody made him or her concerned on the problem of throwing plastic bags everywhere, both that student and the teacher taking the exam do this crime often without noticing that the entire Bangladesh is becoming an ideal dustbin. As you people are here now, I hope the scattered plastic wastes are already noticed by you. I am Sadik Ahsan, a student of English department from Uttar Bangla College, Lalmonihat. And I want to say a little about our college and our teachers. It is a great college, of course, and after coming here, my profile is being developed, and the teachers are so kind, and they have good quality. And also I have to mention about Dr. Mozammel Haq. With his greatest contributions, our college is getting developed day by day. But you know, the thing is, when that student will be able to write the whole essay word by word as he committed it into his or her memory without understanding a bit of its meaning and get a so-called high grade on a piece of paper called certificate, he or she will be regarded as the golden future of Bangladesh. They have even invented a grade name called Golden GPA 5. And nobody, of course, is going to praise the other student who did not get a sufficient grade in the exam, but did throw all his or her plastic waste in the bin for the sake of recycling and safe disposal. According to Environmental Performance Index EPI report, Bangladesh ranked 162nd out of 180 most polluted countries. But do you know what happens if the student cannot deliver the whole essay in the same form given in the book? Then the teacher will eventually be beating the student with bamboo sticks cut for torture. And thus the definition of education will be changed for him or her. UNICEF's study titled Corporal Punishment in Informal Interviews with Children about Corporal Punishment at School and Home, UNICEF 1999-1, documents that teachers hit students with cane, sometimes pull their ears or hair or make them put their hand under the table. A study by UNICEF and Pulki, an international NGO, revealed that physical and psychological punishment is widely practiced in public schools. UNICEF 1999-2. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Children, UNARC, suggests protection of children from all forms of physical violence, Article 19. We see the reflection of this ideology in universities. The senior students bully the junior ones in inhuman methods. They are being taught about this from the school. According to an article published on Bangladesh Post on 29 January 2022, a first-year mass communication student at Dhaka University was allegedly bullied and mentally tortured by a few seniors in the guest room of Bijoy Ekatur Hall on Wednesday night around 10 p.m. People do not know how to use a smartphone, are so concerned about using smartphones amongst students. They think technology is destroying the education and good characters of the students. When those people learn to make a call, by that time students can establish virtual private network connection on a foreign country's servers and watch pornography, as pornography is blocked in Bangladeshi server. If the teachers are not ahead in skills of technology, how will be they able to teach the right use of it? If they could learn using technology, then they could teach all the students, look, this is how you go to an educational website, this is how you do something innovative by learning from the internet, and it has a way to do something better than doing just TikTok trends. It is said in an article of the Daily Star titled NCTV's Horrible Practical Education Framework on October 6, 2022, most ICT lab work, for instance, deals with the same topics of MS Word and Excel repeatedly throughout grades 6 to 10 with bare minimum additions each year, whereas it is a constantly evolving arena of computer science. A news article published in the Daily Star on February 11, 2023 says, teachers do not enroll their children in the very school they work at because of the poor educational environment and quality. Here, students are kept into cages called classrooms for hours, and it kills their creativity from the core of their hearts. And the employed people before them tells them, when we were at your age, we never played on the field at all. We used to always study like 16 hours a day. Now we are employed for that hard work, not knowing that they got employed by mistake of the broken system. Here, after being graduated in agricultural science, people get jobs at the Department of Electricity. Our previous generation were not educated enough on sex education, and now we are facing a monstrous outburst of population. According to an article titled Unpacking the Contributing Factors of Inadequate Sex Education at Schools in Bangladesh, Policy Recommendations, published on the ResearchGate, an online platform and community for research, there are 36 million adolescents in Bangladesh, which is 22% of the total population. But these teenagers have a lack of basic understanding of sex education. The paucity of knowledge about sex education's topics constitutes the highest number of teenage marriages. Teenage pregnancies and unwanted pregnancies in Bangladesh. It is assumed that 53% of girls get married before 18 years old, which is the highest around the world after sub-Saharan countries. The UNESCO recommends spending 6% of GDP on the education sector. According to an article published on the Daily Star on June 24, 2022, the country spends around 2% of its GDP on education, whereas India spends 4.6%, Afghanistan and Maldives 4.1%, Nepal 5.2%, and Bhutan spends 6.6% of their respective GDPs on education. Despite demands from experts to increase the allocation to between 4 to 6% of GDP, again we saw poor allocation for education in the national budget for FY 2022-23. So what are the challenges to overcome these huge concerns? Establishing gender equality, abolishing racism, removing mistreatment of people of different beliefs, freedom of speech, anti-corruption, and implementation of practical education. We need to learn to throw our plastic waste in the bin after reading an essay on environment pollution. Education only based on certificate grades should also be put in the bin alongside the waste. At the end, I want to say that the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Aristotle said those meaningful words. And if I could get a hold of him, I would grab him and say, dude, if the roots are bitter in education, the fruit is going to be turned bitter than the roots. So first of all, we need a student-friendly environment. By education, people now do not mean something that would save the world. To the common mass, it is merely a way to get financially richer. So, as I say in my poetry, while the real parameter of honor are only money and power, every student wants to be a police officer instead of being a teacher. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
ধন্যবাদ Sadik Ahsan for his very smart presentation. Really, time management, personal involvement, and ornament of deliberation, these are the art of a very good speech. And we find that Mr. Sadik Hasan follows all those three things.